Argentina will be rolling out its visa by investment in 2026, and the plan with this video is to be way ahead of time of all our competition as usual. So please watch this entire video so that you understand the approach we are going to take, because the Argentine government has predicted that the guidelines on the visa by investment won't be available until early 2026. So if you want to be first in line, please keep watching. We're looking for as many as 100 candidates willing to want to plan ahead of time and to get to work on putting together all the requirements before any official announcement about this visa's guidelines are made public. Since no one knows with mathematical precision which guidelines will end up being the norm to follow, even though those of us in this industry know that the dollar amount to qualify for this visa will range anywhere from $250,000 on the low side, $500,000 would be the most reasonable amount, and $1 million will probably be on the higher side. So considering $1 million as the worst case scenario that all applicants will have to invest in exchange for being granted nationality, citizenship, and an Argentine passport 30 days after an application was accepted is the starting point for you all to understand the approach on this video. If you have $1 million liquid to spend in real estate and you want the Argentine passport and citizenship, please keep watching. Now, needless to say, and I want to clarify this, we are not going to embark anyone in spending any money whatsoever in buying real estate or making you spend money for now or anything similar until the law is out. Now, if you want to agree with me that there's nothing more precious in life than time, that's what I'm literally going after. We want to be the first in line, nothing else, period, full stop. Now back to the main plan. So based on this assumption of $1 million being the most aggressive approach that the Argentine government could possibly take, it's that we want to set up the bar as high as possible, since we're deciding to embark ourselves on this endeavor of applying at such an early stage by adopting the toughest case scenario possible that we predict will become reasonable. And that's why I want to use this video to find as soon as possible 100 applicants willing to apply in advance and ahead of time. But of course, as long as they absolutely and unequivocally qualify with the most basic requirement, which I'm asking for, which is being able to demonstrate with proof of funds that you have $1 million to invest in Argentina. And to be straightforward and fair with everyone, we already have approximately 15 to 20 possible candidates who are already embarked in this project. And since we are seeing what it's going to take for all these applicants to complete what's needed, it's that we want to bring in another potential 100 applicants to be at full capacity. Now, as you may probably imagine, the government may require the applicants to either buy real estate, which will be an easy option to qualify, or the unwanted option, which will be to incorporate a business and to hire employees to run that company. I frankly do not see that option happening, but it's the government who has the last decision. Now, the law says that the government has 30 days to decide whether they approve or reject each case, and that's what makes me believe that purchasing real estate will probably be the path required to be granted a nationality and citizenship and a passport, of course. Because upon submitting each application, the government only has 30 days to issue a determination. This means the government wants your money fast, and in exchange, they will give you a passport fast in return, as long as you can invest $1 million in real estate. The other option that we do see happening that could be a possibility is that instead of requiring you to buy real estate and invest in Argentina, they would literally sell you Argentina's nationality, citizenship, and passport. In this case, what's going to happen is the amount would have to be something more down to earth so that it attracts applicants to invest. And if money is what Argentina is looking for, I don't see that they should charge more than $250,000 per applicant in exchange for Argentina's nationality and passport. And if they sold their passport, they won't collect as much money as if they had all applicants invest in real estate. But of course, giving the government money is a direct way of receiving foreign funds by all our foreign applicants, while investing in real estate is an indirect source because they don't see a dime, because that's injected in the system. The government doesn't pocket your money, and the Argentine sellers could eventually send the funds they received from the sale abroad immediately, and that would defeat the purpose of the visa, which is funding Argentina with liquidity. So we will all see once this is all happening. But back to the main idea here, which is to set the bar high and start first with those applicants that can commit and afford $1 million to invest in Argentine real estate in exchange for Argentina's nationality, citizenship, and a brand new passport. And I don't mean spending $1 million to buy a passport, but to spend $1 million to buy real estate that is yours in exchange for a passport and nationality. So essentially, the visa, the passport, is granted on the basis of funding Argentina with your liquidity. If Argentina later on decides to sell their passports and nationality, we may have to put this video to sleep and create a new one, but something tells me that they will want applicants to buy real estate for $1 million, more or less, and not sell Argentina's passport for $250,000, because that will mean a lot less money coming into a country that needs funding, and Argentina wants money circulating its legal system. And if foreigners started buying real estate, all prices have to go unavoidably up. Now, if on top of all of this, the Argentine law of lands gets annulled, everyone's real estate investment have to unavoidably skyrocket. So back to my proposition, we are looking for 100 candidates because we wouldn't be able to take many more. And when I mean 100 applicants, we literally mean 100 applicants and not 100 applicants and their extended family members, 100 people. And I'm saying this because my law firm, of course, is also limited in the amount of cases that we want and can take in this exclusive opportunity. Also, just so that you know, it's predicted that Argentina's entire migration system will not be able to take more than 5,000 applications simultaneously. And this is simply because of the amount of employees that they also have at migrations, which are very few today. Because allow me to remind you that President Javier Milei let go of a huge population of the public employees at migrations, even though I applaud Javier Milei's measures of downsizing Argentina's public employees. But each time I personally visit migrations offices, there's only one cubicle out of 10 filled out with immigration agent people working. So when the government says in their law that they are going to take 30 days to pronounce themselves, I have a hard time believing it, but I know that hopefully they will hire a new division to take care of these visas by investment. So just so that you know, before Javier Milei took office and fired most public employees, it would take my law firm 4 to 7 months to obtain a DNI for an applicant. Now it's taking more than 12 months to obtain a document of national identity, aka DNI, 12 to 15 months to be more precise. So that said, Argentina's immigration resources are scarce and limited, and that's why the nature of my proposal also must be limited to no more than 100 to 120 applicants at the very most. Now, my law firm wants to take on 100 of those 5,000 applications, but pay attention here because what I will explain now is key, and I know that you will agree. The purpose of this video is to find 100 people willing to submit their applications the absolute first days that the government starts accepting those 5,000 applications. But this means that we want our 100 applications to be the first 100 of the 5,000 being submitted. You don't want to be the last 100 in line. You want to be the first 100, and that's why we want to be able to align 100 applicants ahead of time with all, or at least as many requirements met as possible. So back to the main idea here. Once the guidelines come out, Argentina's immigration systems will be flooded with applications, and we want to be well ahead of time with all the documents that will normally be required. So we are looking for those 100 candidates willing to invest $1 million in Argentina and presumably to buy real estate in exchange for the Argentine passport for their primary family understood as spouses and their primarily children no older than 18 years of age. The idea is that once the guidelines become available, we want to have most of the paperwork in place, ready and available, so that we can submit the most amount of cases before Argentina's migration system gets crowded with the tsunami of applications that we in this industry are all expecting to come. Again, be reminded that it's predicted that with 5,000 of these applications, this new migrations office will be at full capacity given the amount of employees that today they have, because Javier Milei let go most of them. What I am proposing on this video is to go on a consultation to go over each client's entire situation and not wait until the guidelines become ready. We want to be the first 100 out of the 5,000 applications that migrations can take and not the last 100 out of the 5,000 applications being accepted. So now that you understood my idea and we're on the same page, this is what I'm looking for. If you can afford to invest $1 million in Argentina in the purchase of real estate and you can demonstrate proof of those funds and that the source of those funds are legitimate, 100% legal, please let's engage in a consultation. In this consultation, we will spend 45 minutes to an hour exploring your entire case, which will also include applying for your primary family, spouse, and children who have not reached the majority of 18 years of age. I will, of course, need to ask you a few questions to make sure that you qualify, and I will answer, of course, also any questions that you may have. Number one, the most important requirement, which if you can't fulfill this for now, we will have to ask you to wait until the official guidelines become available. This is demonstrating proof of funds for $1 million US. For this $1 million, we will hire an Argentine CPA who will have to draft an affidavit explaining to the migrations agency how you obtain these funds. And this is something that if you can't attest to the origin of funds with legal statements, we will not have a case, as we must undergo AML and KYC, which is anti-money laundering and know your client. Proof of funds will usually be attested with bank statements, contracts, or invoices. These funds must be liquid in fiat currency or stocks, digital assets, or any assets easily transferable to US dollars, and of course not real estate holdings, of course, because Argentina's government will require the applicants to invest them in Argentina at a given point in time, so they must be liquid. Second, we're going to need a criminal background check for all of those who are 18 or above on any jurisdiction where you have been residing for more than 1 full year, 365 days for the past 3 years. If you have any existing criminal background, please let's also organize a consultation to understand your case in more detail. Third, I will need everyone's birth and marriage certificate in original, certified, legalized, apostilled, and translated into Spanish version. Just so that you all understand, every single document that I request on this video, without an exception, they must all be in original and have all the formalities that any international document requires, which is being submitted in original version with all its official stamps, signatures, and seals issued by the agency in charge of that specific document, certified, legalized, apostilled by either your local foreign ministry or your Secretary of State, and finally translated to Spanish by an Argentine sworn and licensed translator. 4, I will also require each applicant to scan in PDF format and only one PDF file all their existing passports. We must inform to migrations all the passports that the applicants have, and the agency will want to see all the pages of the passports. Even those pages that are blank and empty will be mandatory to include on your PDF formatted file. This means that I will need all applicants to scan from the very front page of the passport booklet all the way back to the empty pages and the back side of the passport's booklet as well. 5, each applicant will need to obtain a digital photo 4x4 for the DNI and the Argentine passport. Finally, even though this is never mandatory, it's highly recommendable that all applicants bring proof of their highest degree of education. Again, this is not a requirement, but it's something that may have its value at one given point in time when living in another country. If you have vaccine cards or a history of all your vaccines or your medical history, or you're enrolled at the moment with a health insurance company, bring all that information as well. Of course, Argentina's Migrations Office has the right to require any additional information on top of what I have already mentioned, and they can ask for it upon receiving and reviewing the formal digital package that our law firm submits electronically. And I want to state for everyone's peace of mind that my law firm's commitment to all our clients is and has always been that if you get rejected for something attributable to our professional labor, we reimburse you in full, because I hold myself liable to everything that I have offered to my clients per a written agreement. Even up until today, I can proudly still say that I have never had an immigration case fully rejected, even up until today, because if we guarantee in our first call that you will be granted nationality and passport after we explore your case in its entirety on a phone call and stated that the applicant qualified, and later on that doesn't happen, we will reimburse you in full. There will be no questions asked. Again, be advised that this has never happened in my entire career with my law firm as an attorney. This is why a first consultation is so imperative, that we can understand your case in full. And if by the end of our call you are guaranteed that your case will be successful, we even commit to sending you an email guaranteeing our professional decision, because that is exactly what is going to happen, or you will be reimbursed in full. And be advised that this will also be stated on our written contract. So let's get to work, because I do look forward to working together. Please like this video, subscribe, send us your message at YouTube at lameris.com by email, or send us a WhatsApp in Argentina plus 54 911 4162 0021, or in the United States plus 1 925 791 8555. As usual, thank you from Argentina. Gracias.